welcome to the 209th episode of Sawdust Nation Podcast with your host, Josh from North Country Woodworking.
Tim from Gears and Fire.
And Nap from Nap's Naughty Works, LLC.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got Nap back. He was down in, Texas for a little bit, getting that tan on and that nice summer heat. He cooked a little bit. Now he's back cooling off in the North Dakotas.
So which is hotter right now, the Dakota or Texas?
Definitely Texas. I mean, I can really walk outside anywhere that's above like 45 degrees and I'll probably start sweating, so.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
we just got the humidity, and it is rough. At least we had a decent breeze today. Hey, Ben, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, Ben Warren in the house?
I shouldn't complain, but my office hasn't had AC since the summer started. So it's been a minimum like 80 degrees in there with high humidity. So it's you sweat as you sit there, which is fun.
He's got a 6
As woodworkers, we're used to working in dirty, terrible conditions anyway, so it's fine.
I didn't sign up for this. Supposed to be spoiled in a nice AC controlled, wing building, but apparently not. Anyway, well, sounds like we've all had some pretty interesting last week or two. Last episode was pretty good. Let's go ahead and start diving into some of the whole woodworking realm and what's going on and, so forth and so on. Tim, Nap, which one of you guys would like to take it out?
Nap looks like he's ready to fall over, so I kind of want to kick it up to Nap.
Yeah, I'm tired, man.
Cashed out, dude.
Yeah, I had a long day today. Let's see. Kind of got to rewind a little bit because it's been 2 weeks since I've actually been in the shop. So before I left for my trip to Texas, I was in the shop cranking out a bunch of stuff, getting stuff done. Between shadow box orders, random plaques, and things like that. I took a couple orders that were due in July. So I'll probably start working those tomorrow because, something about the military and having the random days off. It's not really a random day, but it's kind of like not your typical holiday that you get time off for. So I have tomorrow and Thursday off. So I'll be in the shop working on all that stuff. But as far as the woodworking stuff is, nothing really changed too much. I haven't done much to the shop as I've done in the shop. Shadow boxes are my typical thing these days. Maybe some plaques and signage. Trying to see if there's anything like newer. There's really nothing really new, that's not interesting or anything like that, but it's nothing like, oh yeah, I'm going to go put lights in my first, in the shadow box or any of those things. A lot of it's just like typical stuff that I normally make. The past 2 weeks I've been in the shop because I was in Texas, as these guys mentioned. I was doing training there for the 2 weeks. Training was good. I learned a little bit more about what I should know in my job at my rank, which is cool. And then as soon as I was done with that, I came right back to work to load, which is why I'm dead ass tired right now. I worked pretty much 12 today loading for the most part, so I'm pretty spent actually. Matter of fact, my phone rang, and I swear I didn't shut my eyes but for 5 minutes sitting on the couch, and I looked, I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. And that's how I saw Josh was calling me. I was like, oh no. I was like, what time is it? I was like, oh no. So that's why I look like I'm dying right now, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty well spent right about now. 33 years old and doing physical labor is not a bad thing. We kind of do that in the shops, but this kind of physical labor is a little different than woodworking. So
you're a young pup, you can handle it.
Young pup, my ass. But no, maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe I'd probably be a little bit different. But this is what I do now. So
I did see a while back an unfortunate picture of a broken shadow box. What happened there? How'd that get resolved?
Well, okay, so I'll give you the ending first, because honestly, again, this is hats off to the insurance that I use with my shippo, but SHPO office's insurance from, I think it's called X Claim, I believe is what it is. And I'm not even kidding. I submitted my pictures one day, and then the very next morning, maybe evening-ish, yeah, somewhere in there, I got a reply back saying, yeah, you've been fully refunded, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay.
And that's SHPO?
Yeah.
Okay, good to
So,
know.
and each claim I've made has been over, $450. So, I mean, it's not like they were small claims. I mean, maybe to them, but, not to me. That's still a decent chunk of change, but so they refunded everything. Well, I actually need to go log on and claim the money and get it sent to my bank account. I already talked to the guy that I went to because everything else was fine. Glass didn't get damaged. The top pieces didn't get damaged. Nothing fell off the backer. It's like, that's wild to me. Because what I did to the shadow box as far as what I packaged it in, I'm still in shock because the box itself sustained no real damage. It was only what was inside the box that sustained the damage. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself,
I would say just shift it around in the box too much, you think?
good luck shifting it because I shoved so much bubble wrap in there. There's no way that happened. Like, I'm telling you, they had to have taken this thing and thrown it flat. From a distance.
Just the weight of like those little cantilevered anchors just was enough to snap.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I also put hand-built boxes on the inside under them, so they didn't have so they would absorb the shock or the force of them falling. So I don't really know how it actually happened, but another instance of where UPS sucks again. The guy that got the box said that the UPS guy, when he delivered, he said he was extra careful. Like, this guy was like super gentle. So I doubt that it got damaged in the truck drive or by the delivery guy himself.
Or maybe it was the one that broke it.
No, this took a little extra force, I think. I think sometimes UPS takes it almost takes like as a challenge when you put like fragile, do not stack. This is the top, this is the front, all the things. I swear to you, when you put those things, it's like almost a flag word for, hey, let's see how far we can drop this thing and hope something breaks on the inside. I swear that's what it's got to mean. So, anyways, I talked to the guy. I guess his dad is fairly handy in woodworking. He just didn't specifically make the stuff that I make, which is why he made the shadow box. But I said, hey, man, listen, I got your money back. I'll refund you, because I have this thing about people having to do anything at all to do anything to get things fixed. So he was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, I insure all my stuff, man. Like, after one catastrophic event, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pay the extra $2, $3 and I'm going to insure anything I send out. Even simple plaques get insured because, listen, at the end of the day, nobody wants to get a package that arrives that's in pieces, dented, dinged, scratched, whatever the case may be. So I make sure that I provide a way to pay them back if I need to. And also it protects me. So that way, if, they do want a refund, I can at least go through the claim process and most likely get my money back. So, but yeah, so that had 2 of the anchors break off. So I'm waiting for him to let me know if his dad can fix it or not. If he can't, I told him, listen, man, I'll pay for shipping back and shipping back to him because the amount of money I got paid back was almost equal to what it could be possibly shipping back and forth. Okay. But at the end of the day, it didn't lose me any business. It actually gained me some because he showed the picture of the complete, not broken shadow box to a couple friends of his where he worked, and they might reach out to me for one as well. But
nice.
I've told people now, ever since that last broken thing, so that's like my 3rd thing broken UPS the past few months. So it's kind of disheartening because it's like, I mean, hell, like I took that time to like build up structure and do this and that, so it wouldn't get damaged, and it still got damaged. So what do I got to do? So I told people, I've been telling a couple people I got to send shadow boxes to. Hey, shipping is going to be a little astronomical because I've had some pretty bad experiences and I'm getting kind of tired of my stuff getting broken. So I'll probably end up using what you were talking about there, Tim, with the
expanding foam,
the expanding foam, something like that. Like I'll set up a box with the piece in it, put plastic bags under the portions that need some cover, and then just go ahead and You put the expansive foam in there. What's so funny?
Victor's just saying hello.
Hi, Victor. But yeah, other than that, that's all that happened to that shadow box. Just kind of sucked. It was very weird that it actually happened to break both anchors off. I was like, that's impressive. And I will tell you this: the one thing I can tell you, I'm happy I did do, is I didn't actually glue the joint between the anchor and the actual shadow box, the actual circle itself. So I made it in such a way that it has those bow ties, which, by the way, the bow ties weren't like fully structural, right? Like they were over a 1/4 inch thick. They weren't perfectly cut, which is part of the reason why I had to put on the bracer, because I had some things happen that I had to like kind of make it work, if you will. And then I ended up, putting some pieces on the back to one, help line up the shadow box frame, but also add support to those anchors. So when it snapped and broke, it broke and snapped at that seam. So the anchors came clean off. They didn't break anything on the actual shadow box. So whenever his father works with it, what I think he probably will do, he'll probably chisel off the oak and stuff from the brace, and then they'll remake the braces, glue clamp, and that kind of stuff.
Easy fix.
Yeah, I mean, I could fix it for him if I was closer, but this guy's all the way in New Jersey, so yeah. Unrelated to, I think, you, period, Josh, is the guy just reached out to me on Instagram.
No. I'm just where I used to live.
Yeah, no, it was just weird having someone from your old neck of the woods. I don't even think he was near Fort Dix or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so I was like, it traveled some time. So I honestly am not really surprised. I'm surprised, but not surprised. It's something I broke, to be honest with you.
Because like of how 14-hour. Yeah, well, not from you to a little bit further, right?
Yeah. It took some time to get there, so it sucks, but we'll figure it out. Either way, it's going to get fixed. Like, that guy's not going to have a broken shadow box forever. So there's that. Now, speaking of the shadow boxes, and I know I'm talking a lot, but it's been away for a while, so I guess I've got the floor for a minute.
Hey, don't worry about it, man. We always let our guests speak long. It's all good.
Shut the fuck up. It's funny you say that, because, these days I do feel more like a guest, because I haven't been on as much as I was when I was, when I was doing the whole host thing. But as far as the future stuff that I got going on, so the one shadow box, if you guys remember, I made that missile shadow box with the lights and stuff. Now this one's not gonna have lights in it. I might do lights because I know the person and I like them, but then again, also I kind of just need to get it done. But it's something similar to it. It's gonna have an F-15 cutout in the center this time, but nothing 3D though. Like, it's just a regular facade with like a 2D cutout. It'll have the space for the medals and the flag and all the stuff. Flag will be in the middle. And I asked him, I go, hey man, what's your budget? Because, I always ask, because it's the difference between using stained oak, cherry, things like that. He's like, honestly, man, I'll pay you what you're asking for, and so we can use cherry. It sounds good. Now, mind you, that's dangerous for a woodworker in our line of business. It's like, oh, you'll pay what I want, huh? Okay, well, $1 million. But no, that's actually cool, because now what that kind of does, it gives me creative freedom. And if I want to do something cool, I can kind of add a little extra to the invoice, if you will. I don't know. I might just add lights to this one. I think it'd be cool because it's F-15. I might try to incorporate more lights this time to make it light up a little more. But then also after this one, he's already told me, hey, you're also going to make my shadow box, because this one's for his wife who's retiring, and then I'm going to make his in a few months from now, which I thought was pretty cool. They apparently brag on me a bunch of over there in North Carolina, which I thought was pretty neat. They're actually at the same place I sent that Senior Master Sergeant Stripe shadow box to. And I know all of those people, so which is pretty neat. Maybe one day I'll actually end up back in North Carolina. There's a chance that could happen, but hopefully not. I need to go somewhere new, not somewhere I've already been. Trying to think. What else?
So Victor's asking, he must have just joined recently, but he's asking if this is the first time he had an issue with breakage.
No, this is like the third time I've had stuff get broken, so it's rather disheartening.
Most of that was like fairly recently too.
Yeah, let's actually let's find out, shall we? Let's see. X. Hey, look, and it's so funny. I barely typed it in the URL and it popped up immediately. So obviously I've done it enough. Let's see. Back to my claims. Let's see. My claims. I've had 3. Let's see. So the first one that I had was in September of 23. Okay, so that's not too bad. The one to Alamogordo, that one was actually fairly recent. That one happened in May. So actually, yeah, those two happened within a month of each other. So I was actually kind of worried because I was like, well, shit, like I just had you shell out this much money to back to me because of a damaged package that and I paid, now mind you, tip for anybody packaging their own things. And Josh, you know this already. Take pictures of your packaging, like show your process. I took from no BS from start to finish how I packaged each large item that cost more than a few $100s, and it helps with your case, I think, and especially when a customer reaches back and sends you pictures of the damage, you're like, okay, this is how it went out, this is how it arrived. What the hell? So no, yeah, Victor, I've had it 3 times now where I've had stuff break. 4 times if you count before I ever got smart about insurance, and that was way a long time ago. The very first time I had something break. But no, I'm gonna have to. I've already told my customers will know that shipping is gonna be no less than $75 from now on for a shadow box, because not only is
Regardless of size, or
Yeah.
is that 75 starting?
well, if it's one of the larger shadow boxes, it's gonna be $75 because it's at least 50. It's actually $83 to ship what I shipped, just for it to get broken. So I'm gonna have to up that, 75 being the flat rate for larger packages that are especially going a few states, if you will, because I'm gonna be doing expansive foam or something, because I can't keep doing the whole my shit's not gonna make it. It's gonna get broken. UPS sucks. I'm not gonna keep dealing with that, because eventually it's gonna turn into I don't want to mail anything anymore that I don't ship, because it's just gonna cause me more work.
So the expanding foam, keep in mind, like I say this with a big disclaimer, that is a theory. I've never actually used it.
Well, so no, I think it will work. That's the thing. So,
But I was just going to expand on that. Just like, in other words, like for your anchor thing, right? You're going to want like a whole bottom layer and a whole top layer, because when it arrives, you don't want people like chipping away the foam just to get at the thing. So if like there's like one top layer that they can just like take off, one cured clamshell that they can take off, one cured clamshell on the bottom. I think that would be my approach, is something like that.
well, so what I might have to do is I might order. So Uline sells some really nice boxes that have like the it's corrugated, cardboard, but on the inside it's got like a foam you can cut and shape to what you want. That's pretty expensive. That's why I haven't bought them yet.
Yeah.
But it's kind of coming to that. We don't talk about this guy very much, but like Mike Legregny from Veteran Woodco. Yeah, we had some issues with him. I don't think he's that bad of a guy. I think he just had done some things earlier on that pissed some people off, and could have been a misunderstanding. At the end of the day, past is the past. People grow from things like that. But something he did do that I did notice when he does his packaging of very large signage, he uses the it's like what the heck is it? Construction foam, like the adhesive, or not the adhesive, insulation board, and he'll use like a laser, or he'll use a CNC, and will actually cut out the shape that is going in there. And then he'll put the piece in there with all that perfectly CNC'd out pieces. Now, again, that's more money, like a lot more money. But he also probably builds that into his pricing. So that's all a part of business, is building stuff like that into pricing. So I think I'm going to be putting a disclaimer on the Facebook, because that's where I get a lot of my orders through. Like, hey, if you're out of the state, just know shipping is not cheap if it's for a shadow box. If it's for like signages and plaques and things like that, that's typical $20-$25. You know what I mean? Because that stuff's easy to pack. It's easier to pack a flat sign than it is to pack a shadow box. So, but yeah,
Sure.
just going to the shop. I got to clean it tomorrow morning. I'm going to go to the gym in the morning, clean up the shop, and then I'm going to get to work. I got some things I got to crank out pretty quick. So,
Right on. So you got orders coming up. That's a good thing.
yeah, it's funny how it works. Like, it's like I'll get cleared up, and then it's like, oh, and hey, here you go. By the way, I have all these other orders for you. Not that I'm mad about it, you know what I mean? But like, Josh, you saw, I mean, the reel I put up with, like, what was it, 5 or 6 jobs that I got done all at once and sent them all out. Like that was a heavy lift. I'll tell you what, it was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders though, because I got a bunch of stuff done before I left. But now I'm back, and I have like 4 shadow boxes, a bunch of signs. I got a cutting board. I'm gonna try something interesting with inlays on that. Excuse me.
The inbox is full when you get back. That's a good thing.
Yeah. No, I just need to make that money because I'm pay this card off, and I've already told the wife I'm going to pay off my machinery, pay off my bills, if you will, and I'm going to probably shut the shop down for a month or 2.
Just to
It's
take
just
a breath, take
just
a nap.
to chill out. Yeah, literally, yeah. And I want to tell you why. I'm not burnt out, but I'm tired because I've got a lot going on with career. My bandwidth, if you will, and Josh felt this for a while when he was moving and changing career fields and all this stuff. He was burning it like every end possible. Like if you could light his left foot, his right foot, his left hand and right hand on fire and then burn it, and then, oh hey, by the way, let's light the last wick, which is the top of your head with what little hair you might have. And that's no pun, joke to Josh or anybody in the military, but we don't have a lot of hair as it is. But yeah, I'm burning on all ends right now. I'm going up for promotion this year. I'm literally doing everything outside of work, doing everything at work, doing woodworking, being a full-time dad. Something's gotta give for a minute. And I think the shop is gonna have to give just for a minute. Like it's not gonna stop completely, but I can't take on the volume that I've been taking on because
I can't picture you hanging it up completely forever.
Oh
So,
hell
yeah,
no. There's
totally
no way.
Understandable, man. I have
Dude,
faith.
I got home Saturday. I was going to go. I had every intention Saturday and Sunday to go in the shop. But then I just sat down and was lazy because I was like, I'm tired. I had a long 2 weeks of this, that, and the other, missed my family. And then I was like, this is why I go in the shop. Because there was a moment there where I was like, I'm bored. I was like, I need something to do. And I had stuff I could do. I just didn't do it. It was probably because of the shops.
It's a soul recharge, not necessarily a body recharge.
Yeah, like I'm going to keep doing the woodworking thing. That'll never stop. It's just the volume at which I do it, and I might get more selective on what I make. Like where Josh is going in a direction of having stuff at the ready, stuff that he can sell, like out of a stock or an inventory, which is very smart. Okay, I might even do some of the same. I might start doing some more shows, maybe some markets, like preparing for those things because I can prepare at my own pace and then go do one. Here in North Dakota, apparently people sell a lot of stuff, so I don't know. We'll see. But no, I won't stop. You're right. I won't just quit this. It won't ever. It won't just cease to exist.
I can't imagine you doing that ever, so I'm not worried.
It is smarter to take a break before you're burnt out than when you are burnt out. It's very hard to get back into it once you've burnt out, and it's very hard to recover.
Yeah. And it's funny, and I hate to say this, but I've seen people do it. One of which, and he's admitted to it, like Nick, for example, he burnt out quick. The problem is, and I'm guilty of this as well, and Josh, you've probably been there, and Tim, maybe even you. You start seeing dollar signs, and you just like, well, I can do that. It's just money. Let's do it. Like I'm gonna get that money and put it in the bank, spend it on new stuff, or pay off new stuff that I got. And okay, just go right on to the next one. There's never really ever I finished that project. Sweet, I can breathe for a minute.
No.
All right, what's next? No, I finished this project. Okay, now I'm going right over here to this next one. Oh, hey, but I'm going to go start these other 3 as well while I'm finishing this one. So I've seen people literally fizzle out because they just didn't know when to take a break. So
far, my issue isn't necessarily burnout. It's just frustration with not getting as many orders as I like. And then once I do get stuff, it's not being able to get time to get in the shop because of where certain equipment is. Like the CNC, the nerve center of what I'm doing is right below my son's room. So it's got to be saws off at, 8:30 or 9. So I can't really grind as late as I might like.
So going back to the foam packaging, right? So as you guys were talking, I did some research. Uline sells them. Amazon has them. I know that there's a foam product from Totable as well, which I did not research. But I know this will cover all your shadow boxes. But for a 25 by 27 bag, which is essentially, I believe, activated by your hand, like either a slapper or some activation, and then you put your piece down, it's $200. But you get 24 bags, which comes out to about $8.33, 34 cents per bag, which
that's not bad.
That bad at all.
Now, okay, so you said that covers that space, but that's full space, so you can have those bags, and let's say like I need like a section like this big with like
So the bag itself is 25 by 27 inches. I haven't seen anything bigger than that in the bag. I know, like I said, Total has a product that does foam. But I'm not sure if that would be the right way to go. These bags.
My question is, like, once it reaches a certain volume, will it stop expanding? Because, like, sometimes it doesn't need to fill up an entire volume. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm just trying to...
I don't know. It's one of those things where you might have to experiment with, because they do have, like, this is one example. They have the same size. You get two bags for like $14, and you can go ahead and try it. I know it's not going to cover some of the shadow boxes because even mine go up to 30, 32. But I mean, like, it would cover the majority. And if you got smaller bags, you could actually do the outside of it versus the whole thing. So, I mean, like, it's a possibility, and it might be worthwhile to get into, testing these out. So I might do it myself, looking at some of these for like plaques that might be breakable or some of the smaller projects.
You know what I've also seen too? Like foam's a great option, right? When we're talking about the high tech stuff. But you know what I've seen people use or companies use? It's never really ever given away, and it's that shredded like cardboard filler.
That's expensive. That's actually pretty expensive.
But I've never seen anything really go wrong with that stuff.
Actually, every time when I ordered projects or components off of DigiKey, it's like an electronics supplier. They send all their stuff with that. It almost looked like expanded metal, but it's like paper.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would cost for that kind of shredder, because you can find cardboard everywhere. I wonder if there's a shredder out there that produces that, and that way you could just get free cardboard and make that for free.
So
and that's that. I think
Amazon,
that is
save the box so you can make your own package.
But yeah, the shipping game is something that I thought, there's some people that have gotten it down. Okay, they figured it out for themselves. But my thing is this: I don't necessarily pass any huge shipping bill onto the customer all the time. I just like to be able to give a decent price, add a little bit for the shipping, right, and then call it a day. Josh, you got a weird look on your face. What you got?
Well, I found said machines, and they go from anywhere from $2,000 to $500.
See, it's not really worth. It's worth it, maybe very long run,
high volume, yeah.
But
I wonder if you could just buy a regular shredder that could handle.
Well, I mean, or UPS can just stop sucking and take care of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
well, maybe we should do our own delivery service.
They broke plywood boxes, Josh. I nailed boxes together.
We talked about this.
There's
only. I don't know, man. I wish I did.
So, like, I'm wondering, like, do they at least take a look at what was broken and say, okay, guys, what did we do wrong here? But that's a joke. They don't do that.
So
How can we improve? This is a mistake. How can we improve?
a company like that's about volume. So if they have 10,000 packages and 2 get damaged, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a big deal. To the clients, yes, it's a big deal, but to that company, I imagine it's not. It's very hard to battle that, especially when you're producing customized stuff. It almost is one of those, if you're going to do it and you're packaging yourself, what have you, you have to invest into packaging. You have to invest into the stuff necessary to get it from point A to B. That is something that we went through all different steps with this entire podcast in our businesses. Hey, how do we price things? Took us forever to get there. Okay, we got a handle on that. Okay, how do we do this? How do we do that? Now we're just stuck on that whole shipping thing. And there are 10,000 ways to do it. It's just one of those things where we're struggling a little bit on this.
Well,
we'll figure it out.
But it's like we shouldn't be struggling this much, though. You know, like
it's just a fact, though.
I just don't know how we put so. Like I probably almost 45 minutes into packaging that shadow box. Like more time than anybody in UPS probably any person in UPS would have spent actually doing that task, and their stuff won't break. You know what I mean? Like I don't. It doesn't matter.
Stop putting fragile on there.
But yeah, you're not getting paid for that time for packaging. That's your time. That's not.
I will 100% agree with the fact that when you put fragile or this side up, what have you, it's someone out there makes it their goal. It's to make sure that you test that product. I'm not saying they all do it. I'm sure there's only a few out there, but it just definitely feels like our packages get targeted.
Yeah, well, let me find that UPS guy that tests fragile. I'll test them and see how fragile they are, because it takes me a lot of time.
Big old biker dude.
I'm gonna tell you what. You guys spend a lot of time with projects you make. I spend a hell of a lot of time on my stuff. I don't need some freaking dickweed that just graduated high school working in a UPS warehouse who doesn't care about anything that they do other than the paycheck that they earn or lack thereof, and just not give a crap about anything that has things like fragile, this side up. It's there for a reason. It's there to follow the instructions so you don't break it. So,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's the way we think. There's like, you got to realize, man, and you know this, people go out of their way sometimes to make other people's days worse, right? That happens. Maybe this was a mistake. I don't know how. It would have to be dropped from like 2 stories, but there's just one of those things with the box not being damaged and then the internal product was, it would have to have been dropped pretty flat. You know what I'm saying? There was that. This one's a hard pill to swallow. The box is damaged and stuff. Okay, it was roughed up, but yeah, I've been there, man. I think I was counting mine. I think I've had 2, and each one has been a pain in the butt.
Well, luckily for us, or luckily for myself, using Shippo has been very easy for my insurance claims, thankfully. So hopefully, if you ever get in this situation, you have the same level of customer service as far as the claim process goes. Because it literally,
I'm sure it will. I have no doubt. And the fact that, after trying Shippo this last couple of times and using the insurance and everything on there for a couple of different products, you're right. It's a couple bucks. It's definitely worth it.
You guys have convinced me that anytime I'm going to ship something, we need Shippo.
Yeah, I've heard Ship Pirate or whatever, Go Pirate, or whatever the hell it is. I've heard like that one. It's like fighting tooth and nail to get claims to go through. Okay. Honestly, I only ever used Shippo because someone else used it. And I was like, oh, okay. And they didn't even use X file or X claim insurance loans. Like that's new. And X claim is
very new.
Yeah. So, they push out all the claims. I got other people asking me like, hey, who do you use for your shipping? Because like, I tell them like how I got my claim back like quick, and people are switching over because of that specifically, because they use common sense when they review your case. They go, oh yeah, you packaged the hell out of that. I even put a funny note. Whoever read my claim probably laughed nice. Because I did put a funny haha in there. What did I say on here? Hold on. I think
that means that they're paying attention, which is good.
It's I hope so. It's worth reading to me. Let's see my supporting documentation. What does it say? Let's see. Communications. Summary. Okay. Well, anyways, on there it said something along to the. It was something to the effect of, I bomb-proofed this thing and not sure how UPS found a way to break it. Like, I put something funny like that on there because it's so true. And I submitted all the pictures, and it was that, I got approved the next day. But I just think it's funny that happened. Like, it's like I almost want to test it, but I don't want to test it. Like, oh, this is a good run so far. Do I really want to push buttons and see how much they actually pay attention?
Yeah, you don't want to be on their blacklist.
Nope.
No.
I'm good. They're doing me a favor by paying me money back, making sure that I'm taken care of it. And I can't ask for anything better than that. So, they even covered a majority of the shipping too. So, like, the box was $475, which, again, you guys know could have been a lot more than that. And then obviously the shipping on top of it. So you paid just over $500 for it. A little bit of the shipping came out of my pocket, so I actually got more money back than what the invoice was because of shipping.
Nice.
So, pretty solid. Let's see. Choosing. Matter of fact, I got to set up the payment stuff now because it says, "Hey, you need to tell us where we need to send the money, dummy." And you're like, "Yeah, you're right." So I'm doing that right now. It takes 2 seconds. Next, and then.
Coming up with names for the episode.
Most of your Wonder Woman coin rack. That was really good.
Yeah. Okay. So I have been quiet on Instagram, pretty much all social media, and have been just popping on here for the podcast in the shop when I can. I've said it before, a lot going on in the private life. Between the move here, the new job, I can't even say new job. I'm up in qualification and everything. So my current job, I'll say that, and everything else, it's just been hectic. It's been to the point where I've, obviously restructured the shop, everything else. But I miss social media. I miss, getting on there and talking to everybody and everything. So I was on there today and I'm like, I have a moment. We'll go ahead and throw some content up there and see, who likes it, how many likes I get, and how that's all doing, because I'm totally out of that realm and I have no idea what's trending and what's, happening, how to manage that anymore. So figured, see, why not? Going in with a little bit different mentality that I have in the past. So I will be posting here and there. It's going to be kind of sporadic, and, you never quite know what's going to go up. But like Nap, I'll be leaving here, going up to state New York in July. And then we will be doing our live giveaway on the 9th instead of the first week of July, to let you guys know. Keep an eye on that. I will do the Linktree to make sure that checks. But the giveaway will be on the 9th, and we'll be giving away a Fez tool sander. So be there, be square. And yeah, so like I said, I'll be up in New York first week of July. I come back and on a plane, and I'll be in New Mexico for 2 weeks. So with that, I'm trying to get everything knocked out in the shop, including that clock project, which is way overdue. I have 3 other plaques I need to send out. I have a promise plaque for my shop, and I have a retirement trunk, small to medium, but to a good friend that I need to all kind of pump out. The trunk can wait. Not in a hurry with that. The plaques I would definitely like to get knocked out because they're due in August. And even though I'll have a week or two when I get back to that time frame, I don't want to have anything waiting for me. And again, that clock project I'd like to get knocked out and just done with. They've been very patient. I've been very lucky with some of my clients. They've given me a lot of wiggle room. But they have checked out a couple times, so time to get that knocked out. That's going to be kind of difficult because of the way it is, but we'll work it out. But yeah, it is life's changing in a lot of different ways. So because of that, that's the reasoning behind everything else. I had planned on shipping the mallets out, but then Amazon never delivered the package and I had to get it back and I ordered it again. So it seems like a never ending story with that. That will be done this week too, even if I have to go to Walmart and find the boxes myself versus ordering in bulk. But then my daughter and her loveliness also took the list of everyone the mallets goes to. So I'll be listening to that live episode again to ensure everyone gets their mallet. You know, it happens.
Kids.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, so like I said, it's going to be busy. This year is going to be one of those weird years, and I've already chalked that up to being as such. I'm going to do it again to continue doing everything I like doing, and next year start fresh. But yeah, I got a weird year. That's okay. I have been watching a couple makers here and there. One, I cannot remember the name right now, which is kind of embarrassing considering I've been watching fairly closely. Try to look it up while I'm talking here. Connect Carving, I think. Kinetic.
Kinetic Carving. He does like 3D sculptures and stuff, right?
Yeah. I want to make sure I get his name right, though.
I think I've seen him come across my feed recently.
You probably have. He's just. I don't want to say he's new at the making game. He's been doing it for the last 2 to 3 years, as far as I'm aware. But he's done some pretty amazing stuff. In fact, he just posted a video. So that makes it easy. Yeah, Connect Carving. Connect Carving LLC. He's on TikTok and he's on Instagram. I'm not sure about Facebook. But long story short, stop rambling on that. Been watching some of his stuff and coming up with some pretty great ideas. He's been 3D printing stuff for his plaques, and then painting them, making it really pop. A lot of different techniques that I'm seeing from this individual that are pretty impressive, that I'm not seeing from a lot of different other people. Some things I've used personally, like the Wonder Woman was a 3D printed project that I painted and was able to post on top of my stared challenge coin holder. But it's always nice to see different ideas. And that's what the community is about, right? Posting ideas and the way we do things, help each other out, inspire others. The way that particular individual utilizes his 3D carving and his laser, and looks seamless. And I know the work behind that. And it can be easy, it could be hard depending on the project, but it's pretty impressive. So I wanted to brag about him on here a little bit. His stuff definitely shines out there. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm having fun kind of trying to develop new products, different ways of doing things, and getting in the shop when I can. In the next couple of days, that's where that's going to happen. I'll be in the shop for the next 2 days doing things, and then next week as well. And I will be knocking out everything I can before I leave. So hopefully leave with a clean slate, come back, I'd be raring to go and a little more trained up than I was when I left. So that's pretty much all excitement going on here. I will say July 1st, I say that again, July 1st will be our anniversary here for the Sawdust Station podcast. Our first episode aired in July 1st, 2020, Meet the Makers. It's a 58-minute and 46-second episode, and that's the episode that kicked us all off. So new season will be dropping. That date, the new season for our episodes drops. And what that means to you is just a label, but for us, it means a little bit different.
Just celebration.
Yeah. So it's kind of like our birthday. So pretty big deal there. Like I said, we got some pretty good giveaways coming up. We've been talking about changing up the Patreon just a little bit to kind of make it a little bit better for everybody. We're coming up with some new ideas. I know I mentioned that in the beginning of the year, but things exploded, and now we're trying to recover from that. So we're going to try picking up some of those ideas that we spitballed in the beginning and try to implement them. And we'll be looking for ideas for giveaways for next year as well. So if you guys have ideas or something that you'd like to see given away, hit us up and we can try to put it on the roster. But remember, in order for that to happen, Patreons and our sponsors allow that to happen. So if you want some good giveaways and you're enjoying the giveaways and won things, try to become a Patreon. It definitely helps us produce a little better product and give you a better quality giveaway. Because we like to do more. Hell, I like to give away a laser machine if I can. You know what I'm saying? CNC would be awesome. Things that, typically aren't given away. And we're not asking for people to donate the stuff either. We're buying it. So all those proceeds we get go right directly into that, in the bills. But with that, that's about all I got. I just wanted to throw some of that stuff out there. The reminder about July 9th being the live and not the first of the month. And then, the Sawdust Nation podcast birthday coming up. So, but
man, 4 years.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. That's awesome. Like, not many podcasts can say 4 years,
It's been a rough, rocky road at times, but you know what? Good people like you guys and our listeners and our Patreons and the guests that come on here, makes it worthwhile. So we'll keep trucking until we can't. And, who knows? In 5 years from now, if we're still doing this, who knows what it's going to look like? Because it's changed a lot in the 4 years we've done this. Nap's seen it. Timmy been around long enough.
Listen,
I know.
I'm a wrinkly skin by then, so let's just put it that way. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like, I feel so damn old. But also because the gym has been more of a factor. But I'm gonna tell you something. This maintainer life is definitely for the young kids, man. Like, I can hang with the best of them, but don't mistake it. I need some Bengay or something with my gel insoles and my arthritis medication. Yeah, like my liver spots have liver spots. Okay, like that's how I feel. And it's funny because the guys make fun of me for it because I'm the old guy, the old loader, even though my entire crew is like a year apart from me. But no, we're the old guys that kick all the young guys' butts on the load pad, and it's kind of cool because we inspire them to be better. We actually challenge them to find ways to fail us because they typically can't fail us because we don't do really much wrong. And when we do,
experience is a never-ending battle.
Yeah, and that's fine, but that it gives them confidence to fail people that would otherwise be quote unquote better than them, and stick to their guns. So. But no.
Yeah, you're going to love 35.
Well,
and 40.
The best part is I'm not, this job I'm in now, I'll be done doing this in February of 25. So I'll be loading up it until then.
Oh, okay.
And I'll end up on the flight line. So now, mind you, I don't work on the flight line anymore by that point. I'm now managing and directing. There's no more wrench turning for me. This is, believe it or not, my last hoorah, if you will, to turn a wrench, load a bomb. Honestly, I'll never get to do this again. So I won't trade it for nothing. This has been one of the best experiences for me.
You've had your time, and it's time for the younger generation to take over. Your whippersnapper.
Right. But at least now I can tell them I can kick their ass in loading. Because I've loaded a bomber, I've loaded a fighter. I can load both. Okay.
You're going to be in a bar, and you're going to be 60, 70 years old, and
let me tell you what I used to do when I was a kid.
Back in my day, I was kicking little guys' butts like you, loading you in circles and setting records, and you couldn't touch me, no, sir. Like, that's pretty much how it'll be.
Okay, Grandpa, let's get back to your room.
Pretty much. Shit, they call me Grandpa now. And they do it just to be mean.
Oh, I used to do that when I was younger as an airman. My master sergeant, I used to call him old man, and for his birthday I gave him a cane. I mean, like, I was relentless.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Listen, you guys seen the movie Holes, right?
Yes.
Holes, yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene in there, and I'm the old man, okay, and they're kissing Kate, or not kissing Kate Barlow, but they're the daughter, and they go,
Yep.
"I'm tired as Grandpa." I'm like, "That's too damn bad." And, like, literally, I think that's happened at least 2 or 3 times within the past couple of days, because it's been. Let me tell you something, guys. It's been rough, like, because we've been nonstop. It's not supposed to be like this, but people go on FTD, going on leave, this, that, and the other. People got to load the entire kitchen sink, so we're all dead ass tired by the time we get towards the end of the day, and we're like, one more, guys, just one more. Come on.
Kids ask me, Dad, aren't you tired? Like, am I stopping? Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Of course I'm tired. I just ignore the fact I'm tired and
I
continue.
never deny or confirm. I just say, do I look like I'm stopping? Let's go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a running joke in the shop, and I'm Gramps, and then Great Gramps is the supervision. So,
Like I said, it's experience versus youth. Like, you know how to take all the short steps to get the same job done.
yeah.
They're the ones running around like crazy.
I have fallen into the trap where I've been in the Air Force long enough where people ask questions and I answer without even thinking about it because, well, it's just something you've been around for so long. And then you got people looking at you like, how do you know that? And you're like, well, back in my day.
Mm-hmm.
Just in now, Willie Mays dies at age 93.
Oh.
Man.
So I get those buzz things, like I'm for the old Fox Sports. It's some of them like, yeah, I don't care that LeBron James is crying again. But sometimes you see like the dust of the old sports stars.
When you say Willie Mays, that just reminds me of the Major League movie.
Yeah.
He just got a big butt.
Wrong movie, but okay.
Whatever.
He tried. It was a valiant attempt.
Swinging a miss.
I'm tired. Baseball puns, love it.
Well, talking about baseball puns, let's toss the ball over to Tim and see what's happening in the shop.
Well, last night I was about ready to finish up that cribbage board for Ed. And once I got done with all my back pocket tool paths, I noticed that I had like this giant like bark inclusion void going right through like the peg pocket, like into the card pocket. So like I had to get busy with the epoxy, which is just obnoxious. But like I said, this morning it was a little tacky, and now like I said, it feels like it's pretty cured. So I might just, for the sake of getting it done, I might just clear out that pocket today, and then I can. I have to cut the cover plate for the back of it, so I have some like real thin oak veneer, MDF, whatever you call that stuff. So that's honestly just all I make. I just, I cut 4 pockets for washers, glue the washers in, and then I cut out the plate, so to speak. But essentially, all I have to do to it once that pocket is cleared is just paint all like the card pocket areas black, so I mask it off and I paint it black. And then glue up the card cover, the actual cover part of it. And then, like I said, I can get that shipped out to Ed. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, mostly because that thing is like buttery smooth. I mean, my clearing tool is 1.25 inches, man. That thing means business. So if your CNC is not flat, that thing is going to tell you, because the wider your cutting diameter, the more obvious your non-flatness is going to be. So I'm really, really happy that I took the extra time just to get the thing as flat as it could be. And like I said, it just looks awesome. I'm not going to have to do a lot of sanding, which is really nice. It's like I said, I want to say the better part of a year and a half, I've been struggling with, lots of scallops and, steps and stuff like that. So extra sanding. I got the sanding done. Like all my stuff looks good, but now it's going to take less work. and my little DeWalt orbital sander, like I never had a vacuum attachment for it. I just had that little weird bag thing on the end of it. Well, now I finally measured up and printed my own little adapter.
Was that what you were holding in your hands last episode?
Yeah.
It makes more sense. I'm like, that looks like an adapter, but you never talked about it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I never got a chance to. But yeah, I measured up the the outside of the sander. I measured up the side of the vacuum and went to work and drew it up in SolidWorks and hit print, and there I was.
Nice done.
And
nice
like I said, it's the wall of it is 3/16 thick. Overall, I want to say it's like about 3.5 inches or so tall. I mean, like that thing is rigid; it's not going to fall apart. And so I was a little worried that like if I gave it too thin of a wall, like it would crack essentially because that's how the laminations are going. So I just beefed up the wall. I mean, it might be a little chunkier than it needs to be, but for the most part, it does the job. I mean, it is a nice tight fit on both ends of it, and it does the job. So this is the first time I've finally had an actual vacuum attachment for the sander. But I only have one extension cord down here to either run the vacuum or run the sander. So I had to go get a splitter just so I could run the sander and the vacuum at the same time. It's the first time I've ever had to run two things at once down here. So that was kind of a moment. Like, oh man, my power situation sucks.
Make do what you got, man. Like being in the career field I'm in, when I bring coworkers over because they want to check out the shop, I kind of like don't look over here, don't look up here, don't look over there.
Yeah.
But
like, I mean, my lighting situation, even in my garage too, it's just a collection of LED like strip tape lights, but they're bright as hell and they're cheap, and they give it all the light in the world. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
I mean,
like
if you ever
a little
look
more substantial, yes.
Let me send you a link from Amazon. I think it's anywhere between $30 and $40, but you get like, I would say 4 to 6 lights, and you can put them in series, and they're LED, bright as hell, and like they can change your entire lighting in that throughout in your shop.
Oh yeah, mean, I've already been eyeing up like how I'm going to, redo the garage, so to speak, but I still need something down in the basement. I'm so hesitant to add anything to the basement because I keep reminding myself like this is not the final destination of this workspace. All the stuff down here in the basement is going to go to the garage, so I don't want to invest too much in the basement. But at the same time, I really need better lighting down here because this is ridiculous.
Well, if you buy things that you can transfer, you can use down there and then use in the garage.
What I'm going to. That's what I eventually have to wind up doing. But I just need to be careful with expenses. So, I mean, they're cheap, but lots of little cheap things add up to something.
Oh, yeah. I feel that. So.
But yeah, I mean, outside of the cribbage board, I have like this sign I have to do for a customer. I have a couple dice boxes that are in the queue, and then so I'm the tech head of an anime convention in Green Bay, and they need. It's also on like a budget, right? Like their budget for that type of stuff is pretty limited. Like I'm basically kind of building this from the ground up. So like we're looking at like these audiovisual carts, right? Just something to hold the laptop and a projector and stuff like that. So like I already priced out, like all I need is a couple 4x4s and 2 sheets of plywood, and I can build all the carts you need. So that I think that's kind of in the queue right now too. They're trying to see if they can free up funding so I don't have to build anything, but I'm also preparing myself for that too. 2x4s, casters, and plywood. I'll make it whatever cart you need. But so I just kind of spent like 5 minutes today just like scribbling up a cart, keeping it on the cheap. But I'm happy that I have stuff in the queue, so to speak. A couple of them are paying jobs, which is nice. And then, so once I get those better paying projects knocked out, then I can start going back on building up an inventory of cribbage boards, both like the folding ones and the round ones. which is going to make me feel a little bit more accomplished, I guess. Because like I've been feeling pretty down about like all my Gears and Fire adventures just because I haven't really had the success that you guys have had. But I mean, to be fair, you guys have been doing this a lot longer than I have too. So I guess I'm just waiting my turn. So stuff like this is going to help kind of build up that success and kind of get my name out a little bit more too. So I'm pretty hopeful.
Oh man, I'm sure. I have no doubt that you're going to succeed at that. But if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely rather a slow pace progress and do it at my expense of my mind, my body, and my soul. It was pretty fast and the furious there for a long time. So take your time.
Yeah, like I said, I am. I am enjoying the process. And like I've been forcing myself to just, when I could be in the shop, just to go hang out with the kids too. Because right now they're at the age where they like me, right? It's like once they turn into teenagers, then that dynamic shifts a lot. So we'll see. Take the time while you got it, right?
It goes back. I mean, it takes them a little while, but then they'll like you again when they realize you're right.
Yep. Yeah. So like I said, things have been going pretty good here. I mean, decent, kind of like family jive. I mean, like we're definitely pretty busy with like my daughter being in sports and my other kids doing stuff, and then it's nice to know my wife is a teacher, but this I should say the next 4 months or 4 weeks or so she's doing summer school, but it's only half a day, so she's able to like keep the kids like super active and stuff, and they're not just like vegging out on devices or anything like that, which makes me feel a lot better inside. I don't know. To message all the parents out there, take your kids' screens and throw them right in the garbage. They should be outside getting filthy and feral. Sorry, Nap.
Filthy and feral. All right.
That's how I grew up. Dang it! Me and my brother, we ruled the neighborhood on bikes.
I mean, so did I. You act like I'm freaking like 15 years old. Like that, we used to find random things to make ramps out of.
Perfect. You did it.
And then also the big dirt mound.
We used to play dodgeball with baseballs, basketballs, soccer balls.
Yeah, it's called kill ball.
Pretty much any ball. Yeah, we didn't say kill ball, but it was dodgeball extreme. If we had I guarantee, if we had, I think we had a tennis ball.
You could dodge a ball.
Well, I was going to say with your kids, if you talk about, feral, what you do is 5-gallon bucket, fill it with mud, and then you have a mud fight.
Nice.
We did that when we were in Jersey, and because Noah was, he was quite a bit, I don't know, he was probably 3, probably like Anna's age. And we're outside and there was some mud. He's like, ew. I'm like, no. So I put a bunch of dirt in there, some water, and we just got covered to the point where you spray, off with a hose and then go inside, take a shower. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, my kids are not going to be scared of bugs. Not if I have anything to do about it.
But with that, guys, I think it's a good time to wrap this up. It was a pretty good episode. Parting words?
Well, I think my parting word is kind of fill resounding message of what I said earlier, just about taking a break before you get burnt out, and you guys I think felt that as well. But I'd say do your best for everyone out there, even if it's a customer, even if it's a PETA, if you will, because at the end of the day, good things come to you. And even if UPS destroys your package, insurance will cover it, hopefully. But no, do the best you can to provide the best customer service. And even in one of the things that I think we suffer with the most is shipping. Just do your best to make sure you give the best experience, because sometimes that experience leaves a lasting impression on your business and your name. So do your best with that. But then other than that, with the community, you guys already know, keep helping each other out, keep helping each other grow. And until next time, Tim.
Yeah, guys, stay busy. Get off the couch. Make some really interesting stuff. Get somebody involved that wouldn't normally be involved, because the more you kind of spread that DIY attitude, the more they can spread it too. So lift as you climb for sure. Josh?
Well, other than my dog going crazy over something, probably saw a squirrel. But it's okay to have an off month, year, whatever. One thing on this journey, I realized that things don't always go as planned, and it's okay. You got to roll the punches. You got to make some sawdust, and you just got to get in the shop when you can. As long as you're trying and you're doing your best, that's all we could ever ask for. But with that, get in the shop, go make that sawdust. And Sawdust Nation podcast out.